Alright, here we are, Tower 12, round 2. Made a mistake in skills and targeting in my first attempt. So we're going to fix that by targeting Barricane immediately. We're still going to start out with the same sort of idea here. We're going to be physical countering pretty much the entire time on Fior. And taking advantage of Frederica's A4 to sort of burn some shields down for free with the counters, as well as the combust working from Fior. So a little combo deal there. Just a little bit of debuff from Roland here. 5 turns of debuff is pretty significant. So we should be able to use that combined with Richard just powering up all these physical units to get through this. The AoE is fine there. I actually was supposed to channel there with Renyu. So hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me, because it definitely could. I was supposed to channel with Renyu there. That's a problem. Well, let's hope for the best. If not, we have more attempts, so I'm not too stressed about it. Let's see here. Here we just do that, and all we did was the wrong order on the skills. Well, if they didn't die there, so as long as she doesn't do her AoE, we actually, we didn't get the AoE, any magic attack there, and we lose. But because we got lucky, it's perfectly fine. All right, so now we definitely Holy Smite, Soldier Tome, which is going to be 3, that's 7, that's 8. No, let's ult here. And we can use a little BP here, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the combust will do the rest. Yep, we're good. Okay. HP's a little lower than I would like it, but ultimately I think we're going to be okay, because Fior is going to tank this like a boss. In spite of there being poison, she will jump in front of the toxic stave, so it will do nothing. There we go. The magic damage there stinks, but the final hit being physical, it gets completely blocked, therefore we don't care. So even though her defense is shredded by that lightning attack, it doesn't matter because she's blocking all physical forever. Here, we absolutely just set up would have liked one more BP here. That's 105 times 3, that's 85 times 4. 105, that's 3, okay. 4 times 80 is 320. Yeah, that's a little bit more. Okay, and then we'll ult, and then we'll times 4, and then we'll times 4 that again. Just make sure I've got that targeted correctly. We may not get a 1 break here, but we should be able to just bully her afterwards with our units here. Decent damage. AoE kind of stinks, but that's the only attack we're going to take, so it's not a big deal. The speed down's not a huge deal either. Nice 40k there. It's not great, but didn't plan out my BP perfectly there. I think that's good. Alright, Sanguine Journal again. And a couple BP there. Yep, let's see what happens. Nice, nice. Using the Tome down on the previous turn, lost a little bit of damage on the break, but it also increased her damage last turn and this turn, and his damage. So our damage here is a little bit less than stellar, but we're okay with that. We can sort of deal with it. Here, so that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we'll get 1 on the combust. So we should be able to like hopefully break her again, but if not, I'm hoping to be able to bully her down. I don't quite have the damage output I would like, but she hasn't gone turbo mode, so hopefully we'll get another turn to get very close to breaking, and then we'll be fine. Killing her won't be an issue because my spear team is ridiculously good. We'll still triple beat here. We're actually just going to... we're gonna holy smite, holy impulse again, because again it's a 5-hit. So we want to get as many breaks as possible, because I feel like we're gonna get prepare for execution on this turn. And if she's close to breaking, then I'm not worried about it. If she's not, then it's a problem. So here, that's gonna be 3, and then this is gonna be 5, and then the combust. We'll take her down at least another one. So we're actually fine. And she didn't even do it, so we definitely don't care. So here, just triple beat. Max that. And honestly, we are good to go. Alright, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a win now. We may run out of SP here and deal with a little bit of an issue for a turn on her, but I can actually break her so fast I don't think it's going to be an issue. We only really need this turn, and then we can get her enough SP for the rest of the fight. Because I can just flash steal there. Here's where triple bash comes in. What is Peerless Strike? It's just the nuke, right? And then we've got Ultra Tempest here, which is 4. That's 5, 6. That's 6. So 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. So next turn, we don't even need her. We actually just use Richard to buff, and we're fine. So in that case, yeah, I think that's ideal. Yeah, this is going to be a smash. Like, she's not even close to being challenging. That was the last turn that we needed her, and she's out of SP, so that's perfect. Here, we literally max this. We can rush here. Triple is fun. We can actually do Peerless Strike here. We can do a 3 times Ultra Stalwart, because she's going to be dead next turn on the max Flash of Steel that I'm setting up here, getting that polearm resist down. Very nice. The real reason I use Cecily here is she's useful on both phases, and it frees up a slot. So here is going to be Destruction mode, level her. So here we're just going to use him for what little damage we can. Max that, max that, max. That's not even the right skill, but it's not going to matter. Yeah, she's going to get absolutely bodied. If this was the right skill, she's dead anyway. So, no, that is the right skill. I'm just tripping. I get the names backwards all the time, but that's definitely the right skill. 11 turns, not the cleanest, because I couldn't get the 1 break on BC 100, but definitely could have not messed up my turn 1. That would have been great, but ultimately we got the job done. 2 tries. Not bad, because Fiori X is ridiculous. If you needed to use her for longer, you could stack her with an SP region on herself, and then have Richard hold both SP, so she could get up to like 30 or 40 SP region there. I do recommend putting at least 1 HP thing on her, or at least with, because you want to max her SP. She's in there for a long time, so it's a big deal. We'll go over the loadout here in a second. This is a heavy A4 comp to kill faster Is this doable without the A4s? Whew, I'm not entirely sure whether or not BC 100 with this specific comp is going to be free-to-play friendly, because I just don't think it is. Do I think this comp is a good idea for a free-to-play who has these units to try? Absolutely try it. But the reason, like, BC 100, if you can find a way to dumpster that, then the second half of the fight is pretty trivial. IC 100 with Krauser and Roland is really all you need. You could find someone to replace Cecily. You wouldn't one break there, obviously. You'd come close, but in that case, you know, someone to do more damage with BC 100 than Cecily would work. But she's good for both halves of the fight, so that's why we have her, because she has that tome move and she has the spear move with the spear nuke. So we wanted to go with a 4-hit with Rondo and his AoE 5-hit. Obviously, Krauser's pretty standard. Ultra Tempest, Opus Stalwart, and Stalwart Tempest. Renu, we just need Gracious Prayer. That's literally it. Roland, we use Defortifying Spice to, you know, target down BC 100 to reduce that defense. And then, of course, your choice of skills here. I used Rush into Flash of Steel. It could have been better to do, his ult on like max flash and then ult. That could have been better, potentially more efficient. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't do that. I went with Rush. Richard's here because, you know, obviously spear units, you know, so that's pretty important, and also Rondo being a sword unit. So he's boosting 1, 2, 3, 4 members of the team, just on those specific, as well as, you know, just the 15%, you know, passive being at full HP. Fiora is obvious what she's doing here. As far as the equipment goes, again, heavy on A4s. I do have Tydos A4 here, which gives me 6 turns of Intimidate, which is physical and elemental defense down 5%. I did use Scarecrow A4, which is one that, you know, some free-to-plays might have. I went for the 3 turns of Ballin, give me some crits, please, at the beginning of the fight. I did that for the 3 front row. I used Herminia's A4 and Tressa's A4. This is just for HP. This one here, I mean, it does give polearm, which is pretty cool, and also just like a crap ton of HP was really the driving force there. For August, I have his A4, so clearly I'm going to use it to make him awesome before the first break. If you don't have that, you know, obviously you're not going to get his impassioned, so you may look for someone else in this spot. I also gave him 2 Bs because it gives him an extra VP when he breaks. Not really necessary, but it's honestly for the 10% raised physical attack for 5 turns. That's pretty big. For him, Fior, literally a DA A4 and Serenoa A4. Give me the HP and the taunts. Yes, please. Krauser, I use Forging Sack because he gets 10% physical attack when an enemy with polearm resist down is present. That's because I'm using Roland, and that's why I used Rush there. Could have used his ult instead, and then that would have put the resist down, but I needed that to give Krauser some power up there. And then this one's just literally, hey, you know, 50 P attack and a little bit of HP. Roland, I gave him his A4 because why not? Because I'm bringing him from the back to the front, so that stacks him up there for the polearm. And it also gives him that 15% attack, as well as this is just pure 60 P attack. He did happen to break as well, which is hilarious because he inflicted paralysis. Richard's Richard. I gave him the physical defense, you know, for her, which is kind of pointless. I should have given him the elemental defense one, but I got the wrong one on him. Whatever. And then this is pretty big. Frederica's A4 causes all enemies to combust for 3 turns, so that's 1 additional shield off both enemies to help speed up the breaking process. And then, of course, with Fior continuing to combust, they will continue to lose shields. So that's the idea of the clear. That's what it worked. Is it possible for a free-to-play? I absolutely believe it is. I do think you'll need to make a couple of changes. A1 Rondo makes a huge difference there. I would probably use someone else in this slot. Other than Cecily, maybe just focus on a light user and maybe like Odette Varkin. The problem there is, of course, single target. Maybe Eliza and Varkin would be ideal here, because then you have 6 hits and you can deal a lot of light damage, and Rondo is hitting light weakness there, so that might be the idea. If you don't have Rondo, then maybe Hasumi, Eliza, Varkin, or Odette. You can just use her 2-hit or just go for the RNG 3-hit and hope for the best. You probably have a better chance of one breaking with a comp like that. The light focus doing a little bit higher damage than Cecily was doing, about 45k on the break, so she was really the weakest link there. But she's useful in both halves of the fight, so it's like dual slotting her. So I do think that with that in mind, the second half of the fight is super easy, and you can just sort of just rely on Waludai and Roland, or Krauser Roland, or Krauser Waludai, if you have those. Or you could use Cecily again, but again, I think that Waludai has a bigger upside there, and Krauser and Roland are obviously the top two, with Waludai being my third choice. I actually initially slotted in Waludai and realized that I needed someone for the first phase of the fight more than I needed someone for the second phase of the fight, so that's why I did that. I wish you the best of luck. I hope this was helpful for you, and good luck in your own attempts.